The restaurant buzzed with the low hum of soft music and conversation, a golden glow spilling from the chandeliers. Emma glanced at her watch for the third time. The digital numbers mocked her patience. 7:42 p.m. He was 12 minutes late. Maybe it was nerves, maybe it was just another no-show. Either way, she was beginning to think her best friend had gone too far setting her up on a blind date. She sighed and stirred her water absent-mindedly, the slice of lemon bobbing lazily. Around her, couples leaned in close, laughing, their hands brushing over candlelight. She felt like the only one waiting for something that wasn't going to happen. Her phone lit up on the table with a message from her friend, "He'll be there. Don't you dare leave yet." Emma smirked. Sure, she muttered under her breath. She had been stood up once before, but tonight felt different somehow. The door of the restaurant opened, a cool gust of evening air rushing in. Emma looked up instinctively. It wasn't him, just another family walking in, parents herding two giggling little girls toward the corner booth. She went back to her glass, staring into the rippling reflection, wondering what made her agree to this in the first place. Then, soft footsteps stopped near her table. She looked up, and blinked. Two identical little girls stood there, no more than 6 years old, both in pale yellow dresses with matching white bows in their curly brown hair. Their wide blue eyes stared at her with the sort of innocent confidence only children had. One of them spoke up first. "Are you Miss Emma?" Emma blinked again. Yes." The girls exchanged excited glances before one announced brightly, "Our daddy's sorry he's late." Emma's confusion deepened as she looked toward the entrance, still no sign of anyone coming through. "Your daddy?" she repeated. "Yes," the other twin piped up. "He said he's finding a parking spot. He told us to tell you not to leave." Emma couldn't help it, she laughed. It was a soft, uncertain laugh that melted into genuine amusement. "Well, thank you for the message," she said kindly. "Would you like to sit while you wait for him?" The girls nodded eagerly and climbed into the seats across from her, swinging their little legs that didn't reach the floor. The sight was both adorable and utterly confusing. "What are your names?" she asked. "I'm Lily," said one. "And I'm Lucy," added the other proudly. "Lily and Lucy," Emma repeated. "You two must keep your dad busy." They grinned in unison. "He says we're his sunshine," Lily declared. "But sometimes he says we're storms too." Emma smiled. "Sounds like a fair description." Before she could ask more, the door opened again. This time, a tall man rushed in, slightly out of breath, wearing a navy blue shirt with the sleeves rolled up, and dark jeans that had clearly seen a long day. His brown hair was a little tousled, and he had that hurried yet careful look of someone who was trying to do 1,000 things at once. The twins spotted him instantly. "Daddy," they squealed, waving both hands high. Emma turned as he approached, her amusement fading into something softer. He had kind eyes, the kind that spoke of exhaustion but also a warmth that couldn't be hidden. He stopped at the table, rubbing the back of his neck sheepishly. "I am so sorry," he said with an embarrassed grin. Traffic, a flat tire, and two hungry little girls who refused to stay home. Quite the evening. Emma stood slightly, her nerves replaced by curiosity. "It's okay," she said. "Your messengers here already did a great job explaining." He chuckled, giving his daughters a mock stern look. "I told you just to tell her I'd be late, not interrogate her." Lucy shrugged. She was nice. Emma couldn't help but laugh again. He extended his hand. "I'm Daniel." "Emma," she replied, shaking it. His grip was firm but gentle. "Thank you for not leaving," he said sincerely. "Honestly, I wouldn't have blamed you if you did." "Well," she said with a playful tone, "I figured since I had company, I might as well stay." The twins giggled as if they'd already decided she was their favorite person that night. As Daniel took his seat, the waiter arrived to take their orders. He smiled apologetically again. "I didn't realize it was a family dinner," Emma teased lightly. He winced. "Yeah, I swear I didn't plan it this way. My sitter canceled last minute. I was going to reschedule, but then I thought, well, what if you didn't want to?" Emma tilted her head, studying him. "So you brought your daughters on your blind date?" He grimaced. "When you say it like that, it sounds worse." "Not necessarily," she said with a laugh. "Just unconventional." Dinner turned out better than either expected. The twins talked non-stop, about school, their pet rabbit named Snowball, how their dad made the best pancakes in the world, and how they didn't like bedtime. Emma found herself smiling more than she had in weeks. Daniel would occasionally apologize mid-conversation, but Emma waved it off. At one point, Lily leaned forward and whispered, "Do you like Daddy?" Emma blinked, caught off guard. "Well," she said carefully, "he seems very nice." Lucy giggled. "He thinks you're pretty." "Lucy." Daniel groaned, his face turning red as the girls dissolved into laughter. Emma covered her mouth to hide her laugh, her eyes twinkling. "You have very honest daughters." "Too honest," he muttered. As the evening went on, the awkwardness melted into easy conversation. Daniel told her he worked as a mechanic, running his small shop outside town. He mentioned losing his wife 4 years ago, his voice soft but steady. Emma listened quietly, her heart tightening a little at the thought. "I didn't really plan on dating again," he said. "But the girls thought I was lonely. We saw him staring at the TV too long," Lucy explained seriously. Daniel chuckled. "Apparently that's their measure for loneliness." Emma smiled warmly. "Sounds like they're good at looking out for you." The twins nodded proudly. After dinner, Daniel offered to walk her to her car. The girls trailed behind, hopping between the pavement lines. When they reached her car, Emma turned to him. Despite the unexpected guests, she said softly, "I had a really nice evening." He rubbed his neck again, that familiar sheepish smile returning. "I'm glad. I was honestly terrified you'd run the moment you saw them." "I almost did," she admitted with a grin. "But then they said your name, and I figured, any man with daughters that sweet can't be all bad." He smiled, but there was something tender behind it, something that lingered. "I'd like to see you again, maybe next time without the chaos." Emma hesitated for just a moment. "You know what?" she said finally. "The chaos kind of suits you." He laughed quietly. "You sure you're ready for more of it?" She smiled. "Maybe I am." The twins ran up just then, each holding a dandelion they'd found near the parking lot. "Here," Lily said, handing hers to Emma. "So you'll remember tonight." Emma took it carefully, touched. "Thank you. I'll keep it safe." Daniel watched them, his expression softening again. "You sure you don't mind all this?" he asked quietly, nodding toward the girls. She shook her head. "No. Honestly, I think they made tonight what it was." He let out a breath of relief. "Then I owe them big time." As she opened her car door, she turned to him one last time. "Text me when you get home, okay? Just to make sure you all made it safely." "I will," he promised. That night, as Emma lay in bed, she couldn't stop thinking about the way Daniel smiled when he talked about his daughters, or how his eyes softened when he looked at them. She realized it wasn't the perfect date she'd imagined, it was better. Real. Messy. Human. The next morning, her phone buzzed with a message. "Daniel. Morning, sunshine. The twins insisted I tell you they saved you a seat at breakfast." "Emma. Tell them I'll hold them to that." 2 weeks later, Emma found herself standing at the counter of a small diner. Daniel was already there, flipping pancakes behind the counter while the twins helped pour orange juice into glasses. He looked up and grinned. "You made it," he said. "I promised, didn't I?" She replied. Lucy waved a spatula at her. "You can sit next to Daddy." Emma laughed and slid into the booth. It felt oddly natural, like she'd been there before. Over time, breakfasts turned into picnics, and picnics turned into weekends spent fixing bikes, baking cookies, and sharing stories. The girls took to calling her Miss Emma for a while, until one day Lucy slipped and called her Mommy. The world seemed to pause in that moment. Daniel froze mid-sentence, eyes flickering between Emma and his daughter. But Emma just smiled softly and reached across the table to squeeze Lucy's hand. "It's okay," she whispered. "You can call me whatever feels right." Daniel swallowed hard, emotion flickering in his gaze. "You sure about that?" Emma nodded. "Yeah, I'm sure." Months later, the same restaurant where they first met saw them return, this time as a family. The twins were dressed in their favorite yellow dresses again, and Daniel couldn't stop smiling. Emma leaned toward him as the girls laughed over their dessert. "You know," she said, "this might be the most unconventional love story ever." He chuckled softly. "The best ones usually are." Outside, as they left the restaurant, the twins ran ahead, chasing fireflies in the warm summer air. Daniel slipped his hand into Emma's, the quiet night settling around them. "I'm still sorry I was late that day," he said. Emma smiled, eyes on the twins dancing in the glow of the streetlights. If you hadn't been, she said, we might never have met the way we did. He squeezed her hand gently. Guess being late was worth it then. She leaned against him, her voice a whisper. Definitely. And as the twins' laughter echoed into the night, Emma realized that sometimes, the best beginnings come from the most unexpected moments, and sometimes, love walks in wearing yellow dresses, holding tiny dandelions, and saying, "My daddy's sorry he's late."